For generations, we have lived in silence, in fear, scared of the flame we might ignite in the hearts of the devils that live among everyday people. Just by me saying this, I am probably going to die, but this needs to get out there. When you think of big corporations, you probably think of Nike, McDonald's, or if your brain is a little more wrinkled, maybe even Chuck E. Cheese. But all of that pales in comparison to the Overlord, the king hidden in shadows. I am talking about local honey. Humans have been harvesting honey for ages, and before us were our furry brethren, bears. But more importantly, honey badgers. Is there a beast that can compare to the might of the honey badger? The answer is no. Such a fearless creature, one who challenges armies of bees on a day-to-day basis just for the sweet honey. Now, honey badgers aren't stupid. They don't only eat honey, and that's completely fine. But you know what isn't fine? Local honey companies believing that I always want to eat honey. As it states in the name, local honey is local. So my local honey may locally be completely different to your local honey. But for all we know, maybe your local honey was made locally, but then it was shipped out to me, a local of my local area, which sells local honey, and vice versa. I'm not going to name any names. I don't want you guys to somehow track me down and drown me in honey, so I will remain locally anonymous. Let me paint a picture for you. Let me just get my honey orange, dab the end of the bristles into the paint, and make X marks on the canvas, which for this painting we have already coated the canvas in a thin oil-based white mixture called Magic White. Oh, you actually wanted to see the paint. Oh, well, here it is. I painted this just for you. So you walk into your local sandwich shop, which resides in the local small town. Immediately upon opening the door to that mom and pop store and hearing the doorbell chime, you look to your left and you find a table. On this table you find a pyramid of honey stacked with a little sign that says, Local Honey. It's not just a coincidence that the honey is stacked like a pyramid. Local honey is a pyramid scheme. These big corporations come to these small mom-and-pop stores who are struggling so hard to turn a profit on their small stores, which was always their dream to own, and they say, Hey, do you want some of this local honey? And the mom-and-pop store will look them in their eyes and say, Yes. Now that conversation was simplified. But what's going through the store owner's head is, this local honey will make my business unique and completely different to all of the other local stores. And local honey doesn't spoil, so even if it doesn't immediately turn up a profit, maybe it will later on. By selling local honey, it will make our business seem like it cares about the community, and we support our local honey. Everybody will love us and we love their money, so it's a win-win situation. Little do they know, that corporation went to every other small store on that block and sold them honey as well, thus making all the owners of these stores not special at all. It's like, dude, this is a pizza restaurant. Why would I buy a jar of honey? Who cares if it's local? How often do you even buy a jar of honey at a grocery store, let alone a pizza restaurant? That honey will go on to remain on these tables and shelves forever, as a symbol of oppression and broken dreams. But the owners don't have the heart to take them off the shelves, because what if someone buys it? What if someone really wants some honey? But no one ever does. Let's delve deeper into the dark, moist cave that is local honey. As Sun Tzu once said, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Now, that doesn't relate at all to what we're talking about, and I would never suggest that you actually come into close contact with any of these troglodyte honey sellers. But moving on. How do these companies sell their local honey? How do they make others want to buy this honey? Because they have to make you think that local honey is so good, and so much better than that store-bought honey, if it's even called honey, that you can find at Publix. As with scamming anyone, you gotta make people think that your product is special. So ask me, why should I buy local honey rather than store honey? As explained by Tractor Supply Co., local honey soothes sore throats, sunburns, dry skin, acne, skin infections, or to calm a cough. It also kills antibiotic-resistant bacteria, gives fuel for athletes, and helps aid sleep. But here's the catch. Only raw local honey has these effects, because it hasn't been heat-treated like normal honey. Heat-treating honey gets rid of all of those healing effects, which is why you gotta buy our raw local honey if you want to be healed. You are now thrust into a new world. You have been enlightened. Your diet consists of only raw honey, and you have never felt better. Of course, that honey was laced with cocaine, but that's besides the point. Wow, local honey is so good. It's more expensive than normal honey because it's not mass-produced and is of a higher quality, obviously. It's made locally, and they don't even have to spend extra money to heat treat it because, of course, that would get rid of all the honey's healing effects. Do you see how convenient that is? Local honey sounds like an all-curing drug. Local honey's ambrosia. Those who eat it will never die. Oh, sunburn? Slap some honey on it. Of course, now you're really sticky and smell like honey, but you can't feel the sunburn anymore, can you? Oh, dry skin? Here, rub in this honey every single night before you go to bed. Oh, you have cancer? I'm sorry, but I have a cure, actually. Local honey. Local honey is a scam, and now everyone knows it. Maybe instead of investing in local honey to fix all of your problems, you could maybe prevent those problems from happening, or invest in a better treatment. Instead of rubbing honey on a sunburn, how about you actually wear sunscreen for once? Because once you get skin cancer, local honey cannot save you. Also, notice how broad some of the effects of honey is? It's like they're trying their hardest to make it sound so good. Tractor Supply Co. said that honey, local honey, is fuel for athletes. Seriously. That can be said for most stuff you could buy, and local honey isn't special at all. Local honey needs to be stopped, and those who buy it need therapy. Buy sunscreen, and buy real food. Now, be gone!